In a behaviorally closed system with processes similar to Capitol Hill in Seattle, in Washington state, a bout of the head acknowledges body, a word from the brain connects the two. Along with human muscle and fat and various substances where people enjoy drugs now. The scariest part about the University of Washington when I first started to attend the campus and visiting college was met with so much cognitive dissonance from the artificial intelligence and the algorithms they had in place now with limits and restrictions. And people like my counselor, this woman whose name Sarah, who wears a hijab, calls me a racist who's violent. Her Hispanic manager, landlord, Mexican, fat boy, overweight, slob, whatever, next to his bull dyke and her haircut. They operate within these conditions. I'm forced to say less than I think, and forced to do only within the thought they provide now. Prescriptions and medicines, silence. The difficulty they have with their eyes watching the surveillance camera and listening to the birds fly over the building now. The Chinese Communist government, who must be best friends with the dean of Capitol Hill in Seattle, where they have this college and this university with these professors, instructors, and doctors, and intelligent, brilliant mathematicians who have studied monkeys and rats. For more than a few years now. Their hospital, where they have the children who await chemotherapy from these folks and people, arrive, are scanned, sent in the direction of the woman or the man or the neutral transgender police law enforcement officer now. Give an appointment time and set the standard for coherence. These researchers who grew up with lots of drugs, tobacco and cigarettes, in cartons, with their gray, fluffy hair, and vicious bicycles, who have made these lanes, who have started to wear a certain describable, beautiful, astonishing, and charismatic item from China. And the communist, socialist, new philosophy and ideology from these kinds of institutions who make these organizations called Community House Mental Health. And back in the 1800s, the Western State Hospital. They never grew up in Arizona. They never played baseball. They played the game with the theory provided by the lab assistant in a cafe over by Lhasa. And then brought back drugs. Now, heroin. And then denounced homelessness, the problem they were going to solve now. Facial recognition watches the behavior, in other words, encodes in the quantum computer in Beijing, across from the governor's mansion where the mayor now sits on her council. And they all dress cultural and watch movies and films provided by the bank financing their depression and sadness now. Nobody can move faster than the panicked, distressed, hysterical, and sweaty, rotten-toothed animal print wearing worker who has fixed the problem they swore had all of the energy now. And what China and Beijing do with these videos, with these surveillance cameras in place, very similar to what the states, potentially the federal government, do in their little cubicle offices and their architecturally extravagant dwellings. And when a person visits the Huskies on their land, on the earth, in the city where they're in charge, the Chinese come out and have their fun. In the simulation video game world they've all made together as one and none. Now,